I've decided that since I did so well last week, I'm not going to change and I'm going to wear the same clothes this week. What's your excuse?
I've been in the lab studying all baseball statistics for a week straight. I haven't changed, and I'm ready to win, maybe. I don't know. I don't feel any confidence in this anymore.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch. A two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
So you already hi everybody.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I did that. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to do that here. I did it in the cold open.
You did.
Don't tell me when to hi everybody.
It's the playoffs. We're doing the pitch clock, and we are back for another week. We will have our baseball analyst with us momentarily to dive into everything that's going on. Ethan, what is our game for today?
So in front of you, there's a sheet of logos. Those are the World Series champions every year since 2009.
Oh, boy.
You are going to tell me the World Series MVP for each of these seasons.
God.
It is 3 strikes and you're out. And there are teams with multiple on here. You have to get the year right. You cannot just throw out a name and hope they're on this list. You have to point me to the right
Dodgers
year.
would be 2024. Going
Correct.
back to the Yankees at the bottom right would be
In 2009.
Okay.
Correct. Last week, Cody won, so he is going to have the honor this week.
He hit a big grand slam. I'm gonna go Freddie Freeman 2024.
That is correct.
That's a good
Freddie
one.
Freeman was
my
last
God.
year's World
I knew
Series
you would.
MVP.
I knew you would.
I think
He hit 3 big home runs, I believe, in that series. Of course, most famously, the grand slam off of Nestor Cortez.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go with. Here's a fun one. I'm gonna go with. 2021 Atlanta Braves Jorge Soler.
That is correct. We all remember that big home run he hit in Houston.
We all remember it, right?
We all remember it, right, Cody?
Damn, that's where I was trying. I was trying to figure out where are the ones that Chris definitely knows, but I think I just got to get myself on the board on these. So
1-1 after 1.
oh boy,
All right, Dodgers 2020 Mookie Betts.
That is incorrect, and I'm not going to give you the right answer
thank
because
you.
if Jeremy wants to take that one, he can. So
thank you.
Cody
Yeah,
has the first
This
strike.
is not gonna be good for Chris.
But he was there. Oh God. Okay, there's one that I know for sure, but I don't know which year.
I'm intrigued by
You know
who
what
you're
that
thinking.
means.
Oh my God! I just thought I know one.
I like one. Well, here, I'm just going to go here. 23, it's Corey Seager with the Rangers, correct?
That is correct. Yes,
Okay.
Corey Seager had a great series for the Texas Rangers as they defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was a fun World Series.
Yeah,
Sneaky.
man, that was a great World Series. Our ALCS and NLCS expert is with us now, and it's my new best friend and the author of Make Me Commissioner, I Know What's Wrong with Baseball and How to Fix It. You can also check out her big piece coming out in the New York Times right before the World Series. Jane Leavy, back with us on the pitch clock. Jane, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today.
For you, boy toy, anything.
All right, well, let's dive right into the ALCS. Last night, it's the Mariners and the Blue Jays, and those Jays bats finally looked like the Jays bats we saw against the Yankees. A huge third inning breaks the game open. They pile on 5 homers in Seattle, which is the toughest place to hit home runs. So, Jane, what changed last night in either in terms of the Blue Jays' offensive approach or the Mariners' pitching staff's execution that really flipped the script in this one?
The Jays to have looked so bad at home and then flip the script and have the Mariners look so bad at home. It makes you wonder whether these teams that haven't had playoff games, to really talk about for a long time, we're a little tight. And sometimes getting away from home is a really good thing. I doubt that the Mariners will be as brain cramped tonight as they were. I mean, they got Castillo going, and he seems, what's the opposite of flappable? Unflappable.
Unflappable.
He seems unflappable. And strangely, unless it's changing, though I've been checking this morning, The Blue Jays have decided to go with Max Scherzer, who the wily vet. They're now calling him the wily vet as opposed to the future Hall of Famer. In terms of grit and experience, you can't do better than Mad Max. But Mad Max hasn't pitched since September 24th, and he's 41. Maybe they're not expecting much more than a couple of innings. Maybe they're going to treat him like an opener for all we know. But it's a very strange choice, in my view. Why? I mean, Chris Bassett's available. Why not Chris Bassett?
It's fascinating to see Scherzer take the hill, and I think you're right. That experience is paramount here. When you're looking at a moment like this, it's probably one time through the order and get into that bullpen, or even a piggyback situation where you have Scherzer go early and you have Bassett go through the order from there, so they have to game plan. But now that the Blue Jays did get this one game, and we saw those bats wake up, what should we expect here for the rest of this series? Like, all of a sudden, this goes from a foregone conclusion to some real pressure on the Mariners at home in Game 4.
Well, pressure's okay. Pressure is what professional athletes and even some amateurs, if there are such things anymore, that's what they should thrive on. What is it Billie Jean King says? Pressure is a privilege. And, if they can't do it, then so be it. They can't do it. But, I think they'll be more relaxed tonight. And remember, they have 2 more games at home. It's not one. They have 2 more chances, to end this at home. And, I was really rooting for a Mariners Brewers series just to be able to see what the network television people did.
I don't even want to say what team it is, because I feel like if I get you thinking about it, you're going to think of it too.
I think I'm on to what you're thinking here, Coach.
There's a
Can I
couple
just
that
say
I
a
know.
last name?
Can you say a last
I know
name?
his position. I know his team. I know his last name, I think. The first name is like, it begins with an A, I think.
Oh, I know who you're thinking about.
I'm
mean,
thinking of
obviously-
the 2011 Cardinal.
Oh, I already...
Third
that's
baseman.
So that's the one that what you're thinking about is what I... No, hold on. No reaction
can't get
from
his
you.
name.
No reaction from you. I know who you're thinking about, and I just had the same thought process that you did. Mind you, while you go ahead and let yourself think, I am going to go through for the audio audience. I'll go through each year here since we haven't yet.
Good call.
So we obviously got the 24 Dodgers, 23 Rangers. For those of you who don't remember, in 2022, it's the Houston Astros. 21, it's the Braves. 2020 was the Dodgers. 19 is the Washington Nationals. 18, Red Sox. 17, Houston Astros. That's a very famous team. 16, the Chicago Cubs, another very famous team. 15, the Royals. 14, the Giants. 13, the Red Sox. 12, the Giants. 11, the Cardinals. 10, the Giants. And 2009 was the New York Yankees.
2019 Nationals, Trey Turner.
No, he did have a great postseason, but he was not the World Series MVP that year. So that is 2 strikes for Cody.
That's 2 strikes?
Yeah, I got the
Yes.
Dodger, I guess. Mookie Betts. You
guessed
don't know?
Mookie.
Like, you don't know who that Cardinal is?
I know who you're thinking of,
It's not him.
but I don't know. So here's the thing.
I don't know if you have the right name,
I
Cody.
know for sure.
Well,
Like,
I
their
know-
third baseman hit a bunch of home runs.
Yeah.
Like they.
No, so I
Yep.
know who it is, but I'm trying to...
100% he was the MVP. I'm helping you.
I mean,
100%.
Okay. I don't have any strikes yet, right?
You are not on the board with any strikes, Jared.
2011 Cardinals,
David Freese.
It's David. Yes.
Shouldn't have
All
told
right,
you,
so
dude.
the reason
gave
I
you
wasn't
that
sure... No, you didn't. The reason I wasn't sure about David Freese was because I couldn't remember... Did the dominance
And I helped you. I was
start?
like 1,000% he's the MVP.
Did the dominance start?
You have to
I
help
was
me on one
willing
now.
to-
You have to help me
No,
on one
I was
now.
willing to go on
You have
it.
to help me on one
That
now.
was a willingness to get a strike.
Hold on. I want to hear what Jeremy has to say here.
What I wasn't totally sure of was that dominance starting in the NLCS? Was that
Yeah.
dominance starting in the NLCS? And thus, in turn, I think of him as the World Series MVP, but I now remember that big double off the wall that was over the head of
Yep.
Nelson Cruz.
2
And
strikes
so-
in the 9th
yep.
inning.
You
And
have
so
to
That
help
was
me on
game
one. You have to help me
6
on
of
one.
the 2011 World Series, one of the greatest baseball games ever
Ever.
played. And then,
Ever.
of course, he hit the walk-off
Yep.
in game 6.
Yep.
And then in game 7, they had to come back again, and I think he had another big hit in game
I
7.
believe.
How many pitchers did the Los Angeles Dodgers use in the 1963 World Series?
Oh my goodness. I don't want to go too low because that defeats the purpose of the game. So I'll say 7.
4.
Oh my gosh. In the entire World Series.
Baranowski relieved Johnny Padres. And other than that, it was complete games.
These are the names that we look for. And speaking of complete games, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he just threw one for the Dodgers. Blake Snell went 8 innings himself. It required 2 more pitchers, in Trinan and Roki Sasaki, to finish that out. So we're already at 4 pitchers despite 17 combined innings from the starting pitching. But Jane, I mean, it's been all about that starting pitching. And as you just laid out, you're a historian of this game, particularly with Dodgers pitching. Go buy her Sandy Koufax book as well. Yep. Can you please put into perspective how impressive this starting pitching has been for the Dodgers, particularly in a modern game where going that deep into the game is so rare?
So it's like being back in 1963. It's the game that people used to like to see. It's the game that people expected from the Dodgers. And, I hope it turns a whole generation of new baseball fans on to see what the game can be when guys who are that good are allowed to find out how good they can be. They're preempted in modern baseball. Okay, here's my next stat for you. How many pitchers did the Dodgers use during the 2025 season?
Ooh, during this season, because they dealt with a lot of injuries.
No kidding.
I would say near 20.
I'd try 48.
Shut up. 48?
Shut up, 48. And the Mets were 47.
Good Lord. I mean, that just shows that for them to now be healthy, to have these guys ready to go. Dan's talked about it on the show for a while. It's one of the first teams he's seen that's sort of like in basketball or in football, where it's like, hey, as long as you're healthy by the playoffs, it's all going to be okay. And that's what this Dodgers team has been like.
I saw a game in Baltimore. I was talking with Dave Roberts before and giving him a hard time again about how many times he's removed starters from no-hitters and perfect games. And that night, he allowed Yamamoto to go back out. He was pitching a no-hitter for the 9th inning. And so what happens? Jackson Halliday hits a wall scraper home run in Camden Yards, and they lose the game and certainly the no-hitter. And people are like, oh, no, that's terrible. You shouldn't have let him go back out. No, it was the perfect thing to do. It's a glimpse of what the guy could do and what baseball can be when it's played the way it was meant to be played.
Absolutely.
So he lost the game. Big deal. It was a great baseball moment. And I thought that was kind of a turning point.
Let's talk about tonight's game and moving forward in this series. If you're trying to be an optimist for the Brewers fans watching this, or just the baseball fans who maybe don't want to see the giant payroll LA Dodgers back in the World Series, although I think that's what's good for baseball if it's them against the Blue Jays or the Mariners.
Why? Why is that good for baseball?
I do think it's always fun when there's a giant that can be toppled. I think that element in any sport is something that's fun to watch, whether it was the Warriors or the Big Three Heat in basketball. When there's a giant that can be toppled, the Patriots or the Chiefs in football over the last 20 years, it's always intriguing to see if that upstart team can do it. The Mariners would be the best example. But let's talk about this. What can the Brewers do in tonight's game and potentially moving forward to get back into this series? Like, what has to happen? And what would give you any sort of inkling that it's possible?
Well, Glass now has a history of sort of disappearing in the moment.
The face that you made is basically what happens.
Right. And they have to be themselves. But look, the other thing that the starting pitching the Dodgers has masked, what's wrong with Ohtani?
Yeah. I mean, he'll be there. He'll theoretically be there for Game 4.
Yeah, but he's not hitting.
Right. Oh, he's been
not hitting at all.
He's been a disaster offensively.
And I can't help but wonder. I know it's not a popular thing to say, but I looked at stats yesterday, of how he does in games when he pitches, and it's not good.
No.
And it's really lousy. Mm-hmm. And he's pedestrian at the plate in games that he pitches. And you can't help but wonder, even though they have, been careful in how many innings they've allowed him to go. And that's another question. If it's a a game where they can win it all, are they going to be careful in how much they let him pitch? Is he going to have a pitch limit? Is he going to have an innings limit? If I were Shohei Ohtani, I'm not sure I'd be willing to pitch for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Wow.
I mean, look, 48 pitchers.
Yep.
48.
Yep.
And there is an argument that their lives would be easier. I mean, they have to build everything around his starts in terms of having people available to pick up the extra innings, which they certainly haven't had, and in terms of, worrying about his offensive potential and his production, and not potential, his production. And it's, the man has had 2 Tommy John surgeries.
Yeah.
Not one the official Tommy John and one Tommy John redux.
Right. Well, look, when we talk about this Dodgers team, it'll be whether or not Ohtani can wake up those bats, whether or not the Dodgers can get it done against a bullpen game. We'll see if sort of history here, which is just last night, repeats itself and the road team continues to win all of these games in these series. Lots of great baseball coming up. Jane, you love it as much as anyone. Thank you so much for being back with us. Again, everybody, go check out her book, Make Me Commissioner. I Know What's Wrong with Baseball and How to Fix It. Nothing wrong about baseball tonight. We're going to enjoy it together. Jane, thank you so much.
There's a lot right about baseball.
There is a lot right about baseball. I can't wait to watch it. Thank you again for joining us. Here's how I'll help you.
All right, I don't need your help.
Okay.
I got an answer.
All right.
2012 Giants, Madison Bumgarner.
Oh, you're so close.
Was it
Cody,
14?
but you're out. Yes, he was. That was the
It's
year
so
where
funny.
he came in. He pitched Game 5,
Yep.
and then he came in Game 7 and pitched like
I just
from
was
the
like,
fifth
has to
inning
be the
on.
middle one. It
And
has to be
It's
the middle
so
one.
funny. It's so funny you do that because what I was going to say to you is there is a player where you're going to
Yes.
have a 33% chance
Right.
of getting it right no matter what. Just pick
That
it.
was going to
Oh.
be your help for me?
That was my help.
I mean, that was obvious.
Well,
See, my help was
you
going to
didn't
be.
help me.
I gave you the answer.
I had the answer.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the
Yeah, I should've
truth.
done that.
Can I go through with the rest and just see what I can get? Okay, so tell me 2010 since I clearly didn't get it. Is that Posey?
Edgar Renteria.
Lord. Oh, there's
He hit the big home run in Game 5 against Texas that gave them the lead. It was a 0-0 ball game, and he gave them the lead, and they went on to win the
Who
World
won it for
Series.
the
in Game
Yankees in 09?
5. Hideki Matsui
Yeah.
was the World Series MVP. in
That was
2000.
one that I had sitting there. Alex Gordon for the Royals.
No, Salvi Perez.
Oh, he was. It was Salvi Perez.
Salvi
I
Perez.
couldn't remember
And-
because I remember Alex Gordon.
Yeah,
it
he
was
had a great
such a big
postseason.
deal because he had such a great postseason and he was the lifelong Royal.
Yep.
I remember seeing Eric Hosmer at Publix a few days after they won the World Series. In
I'm a
Weston
sore
Commons.
loser. Do I have to sit here for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk this out. I actually thought that Zobrist was the World Series MVP because he was the World Series MVP the next year.
Yeah, for
and
the
I could have
Cubs.
sworn that he was a back-to-back World Series MVP.
He was the one for the Cubs.
He,
Is
of
it-
course, had the big hit in Game 7 that delivered the lead in the 10th
Which
inning.
one was Jose Altuve?
Jose Altuve has never won a World
It's
Series
Springer,
MVP.
right? In 17.
It was Springer
Correa?
in 17
And then Alvarez?
Pena
Oh,
in 2022. He was a rookie, and he had
Pena.
an amazing postseason, Jeremy Pena.
Springer.
So I'll go through all of them
Is
just
it
for everybody.
It's not Soto, is it? In 19?
No, it was
Yeah.
Steven Strasburg.
There's no
They
world
were
where
pretty
Will
dominant.
Smith won it in 2020, right?
Is that
No,
when he,
it
is
was
that when he-
Corey
is that
Seager
when he
again.
slapped?
It's also Seager, right?
that when he
Seager
slapped
is a
Chris
two-time
Rock?
World
Ha.
Series MVP. Steve Pierce won in 2018. As crazy as that
Moving
sounds.
on.
I
Out of
literally
nowhere, Steve
don't
Pierce
even
had
know
a
who that is.
crazy postseason.
Maybe
run.
that's.
I don't
maybe,
even think
honestly. Maybe that's why we didn't. Know
I don't even think
about that.
Steve Pierce remembers that.
David Ortiz won in 2013.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
And Pablo Sandoval, the Panda, of course, won in 2012.
All right,
He
good-
had a 3-home run game in the first game of that World Series, I believe.
Good
against the
parade.
Tigers.
Next week, I'm changing clothes.